Meet the Steelheads, which we always love to do, coming up this week. And this will be a circus game as always because they got to play Peterborough. So you know what happens when they play Peterborough? Some freak thing happens. I don't know. Maybe something bursts into flames. I don't know what it is with the Pete's, but always something weird happens. At least we get to play in our building, not their barn, which I believe was built in 1850. And they told me, oh yeah, but look at all the refurbishments. What, a new light bulb? As JR said last week. Yeah, that's great. The corners are still square. It is a odd building, but it's here this week. So Friday, we got a game against the Pete's. Then you'll see Ottawa comes to town on Sunday. So it's pretty interesting stuff, as it is when we get to meet the Steelheads. And Zach Lavoie, we get to talk to here this morning. Good morning, Zach.
Good morning. How are you?
Now, I don't know if you're aware of this. I just had to take a little peek. I find this to be weird, but sometimes you go to these little sites. Do you check yourself on the sites? Do you Google your own name? Do you do stuff? Do you see if people are loving you? What do you do?
No, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't really try to look at that stuff, but I don't know. I might take a peek here and there.
Well, I go, okay, Zachary Lavoie, AKA Zachary Lavoie. That's like you're a bank robber or something. What is the AKA part? What do you do when you go back to Ottawa? Are you stealing stuff? Like, why would it say AKA? Is it the spelling of the name?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you'll have to ask the site.
Yeah, I guess we will. Well, anyway, congratulations on I guess you say congratulations. You want to get off on the right foot when you start a season. Right. And there was so much ice time that was, in the last year that a lot of young guys saw. I mean, you saw some ice that maybe you wouldn't have because of some injuries, but I think it has been good in the long run, the bigger picture, because you guys, I think, a little more grounded. You know kind of what it takes, and I think that you have got off on the right foot. So if you look at the early part of the season, Zach, how would you grade yourself and the team?
Probably like an A-. I think. I think we have a pretty special group. We know how we can what we can do. There's still some work to do, but I think we're going to be one of the big dogs this year.
And Mike was just talking about how there was a lot of chances last year for young players because there were some injuries. What differences do you feel now? You have a season under your belt, now into your second season. What kind of feels different this year?
Well, obviously you come in with a lot more confidence. You've been through the process. You know what it takes. Obviously for us, we lost to Hamilton last year, which really sucked. But again, like you said, it's experience. It's something that we can take into this year. And I think most of us are really eager to, get on with the season and really enjoy ourselves and maybe, make a run for it.
Well, and right now, this is the time of year we're just getting into, halfway through November. Once you get closer to December, you start to have a little bit of an identity. You start to feel like who you are, and therefore your head coach can kind of throw more stuff at you, like you're kind of ready for it. But it seems like the team is got to a place where they really enjoy, I think, when your coach challenges you a little bit, because he doesn't give you too much. Like, he doesn't overwhelm you with information. He seems to feed it. Do you feel like it is at least to me, a well-balanced team? Like, for what you're doing right now, I think you have a sense of who you're supposed to be. So if you're describing, you talk about being a big dog, what is it that makes Mississauga one of the big dogs?
Well, first of all, on defense, we got Del Mastro. I mean, just some of the plays he makes, I'm like, how does he do it? So we got him on the back end. Casper Larson, just to name a few, and then Sharpie, obviously, is really good. And then some of our younger guys are still good on the back end. Von Richter's played pretty solid. And then up front, well, we got Del Bell and Beck, who second round picks to the NHL. Really, really good forwards, and then we got a really good scorer in James Hardy, and I tend to think of myself as a goal scorer too. So we got myself, and I think some of the other key pieces, Xander Vecchia, and so we got a bunch of really, really good pieces, and I think if we put it all together, it'll be a special team.
You're just talking about the defense core there, Del Mastro and Sharp and Larson, some names you mentioned. I think like their average height is like 6'5". Like they got massive guys back there. What's it like to play on a team where you know that you have those guys back there all the time?
That's a good question. It feels really good, I think, especially you know that you can throw it around, and worst comes to worst, you got security. You got someone that's gonna have your back, and so it's always great to play with big defensemen.
And failing that, you just get Chucky, you just stick Charlie on them, and and you I mean,
Well, yeah, no, you can't leave Chuck out of that one either. He's he might be smaller than those guys, but I think he throws more hits than all of them combined. So he's a pretty tough kid too. So it feels good.
well, as I said, last year, and so you had that feeling of what it was like to play a Bulldog team that had a lot of talent, a lot of guys that were going pro, and that's a tough matchup. But I always think because of what it lays for you in the following year, I think it's put you in a perfect place. But I mean, there's still a lot of hockey to play, and I mentioned that the Peterborough's coming to town, and I said, I don't know what it is about those Pete's, but there's always something weird that happens. Do you feel that way? Because sometimes over the year, and I'm saying over the years, it's kind of weird. What is your feeling when you got to play like the Pete's?
Well, obviously I've only played 1 year, but whenever we play against them, it's always a hard game. There's always lots of hitting and lots of physicality between the two teams. There's kind of like a hatred for the two teams. But yeah, no, I don't know if I describe it by weird, but I think just almost like a rivalry. And every year, every game is going to be a battle, and yeah.
And going back to last weekend, I wanted to ask you, you guys had another 3-3. I think that's 3 so far this year. It's a lot early on in the season. How'd you feel about this last one? You got 5 out of the possible 6 points, but dropped that one to Hamilton. How'd you feel about it overall?
We felt pretty good, I think. The first game in Kitchener, we had a really, really good game. Hamilton, obviously, we didn't have the start we wanted. Kind of battled back and lost in OT, and it was kind of a bummer. And then the last game was a battle. We fought through. The last game of a 3-3 is always a battle. You're tired, you're sore, but you just gotta keep pushing through. And obviously we did, and came out on top and got the 5 out of 6 points. So I think we're really happy with that.
I'm just curious, Zach. We see that Daniel Alfredson just got into the Hockey Hall of Fame, and of course, being from the Ottawa area, that you probably are influenced by what you watched and saw. So, I'm going to think it's probably Senators as you're a kid growing up. Was that sort of when you took a look at, the area that you grew up in? Who did you look at? I mean, because everyone sort of in their mind likes to see themselves as a certain kind of player, usually someone that they admired as a kid. Who was it for you in that area?
So I'm from Ottawa, but my family's from Montreal. I always loved Montreal. So for me, as a kid, it was more so like Alex Kovalev, and he did play for Ottawa for a bit. But yeah, no, that's what I looked at when I was younger, and that's why I wear number 27. And when I was younger, I actually was pretty lucky. I got to play with his son, so he was our coach for a bit. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. I got to meet him. Being an idol, it's always cool to meet your idol. So yeah, for me, it was Alex Kovalev.
And I feel like not a lot of people get that experience to play for your idol. Like, what would that have been like? I mean, you just talked about meeting him, but actually playing for him, that's got to be a crazy experience.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. To be honest, I don't remember much, but I think if I can try to remember it, I was just a kid that, big eyes, like kid in a candy store, and I don't know, just having fun out there, and it's always cool to have your idol just looking at you.
Yeah, you just want to turn into that, like the Chris Farley show where you're going, you remember that time? Do you remember? We're in conversation with Zach Lavoie here this morning on Raw Mike Richards at his Meet the Steelheads. And as I said, once you get towards Christmas, you start to have a feel of what you're doing now. You also get a feel for kind of where you want to be. And most teams, as you know, even when you're having a good season, which clearly you are, there's things that you want to do better. There's things that you think as a team you can improve upon. If you're looking and stepping back and seeing where the team is right now here in mid-November, what are the kinds of things that you guys talk about that you want to be better at?
Just coming in every day, and I think we're a good team, but if we want to be a great team, we have to be consistent. So that, I mean, it's coming in every night and just like having that desire to just beat everyone every night, and like it doesn't mean we need to score 8 goals and you know, kill everyone, but coming in and working hard and playing the right way, day in, day out, and I think if we can do that, we'll be a really good team.
Well, I think you certainly have all the makeups of a great season, but it's still, I mean, it's early in the season to kind of look in the mirror, and I don't think any of your team does it because your head coach doesn't do that, and well, maybe Crackers does. You know, I got a feeling that when no one's around, Crackers probably takes a look at himself in the mirror and goes, "Yeah, that's all right." Him and his weird, plain old fashioned donuts, or what are those donuts?
Yeah,
Everybody,
I
what
don't
is with
know.
the donut? I don't. What is going on with him?
I don't know. He's also got like a stash of candy in his office, and I don't know. He's a big candy guy.
Yeah, it's very off-putting for the rest of the team. I think someone had to say it. I'm glad you said that. Someone had to stand up for the rest of the team. Zach, thank you so much. I should say merci beaucoup for this morning, for your parents who are listening and going, that was the worst French I've ever heard. That you know, you're a great reflection of a team that we love, and we hope that everyone gets out to see you guys in your own backyard. It's such a, you know, it's very affordable for the family. There's a lot of, you know, kids here in Mississauga that if they want to play for a great organization, you certainly understand how great it is to play for these guys. And you've got a couple of games here at the Paramount this weekend, both on Friday and Sunday. And the Friday game is going to be outstanding with Peterborough, because it always is. So
Yeah.
hopefully everyone gets out and see you play, Zach, because it's a season that's going to be a great one. I have a very good feeling about it, and really nice chatting with you here this morning.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me, and yeah, hopefully, yeah, we're looking forward to a great season. Thank you.
And it will be. Thanks, Zach. That's Zach Lavoie joining us here this morning from the Steelheads on Tuesday, which is Meet the Steelheads, and it never fails to be a lot of fun here this morning. And Crackers, sorry, Crackers, but you know you're going to get it. That's what happens when you eat the bad donuts. There, I said it.